Hi, welcome to today's daily devotional. This year I've been reading back through the Old Testament, and about a week and a half ago I was reading in the book of Joshua. Now, the Israelites had been wandering around for 40 years, and it's finally time for them to enter the promised land. They are ready to cross the Jordan River and begin to take over in the promised land. Now, God had given Joshua very explicit instructions to first send the priests with the Ark of the Covenant out into the Jordan River. So he follows this command, and the priests, as soon as they set foot in the water of the Jordan River, God holds it back, much like he did the Red Sea when they were leaving Egypt. So the Jordan River is being held back so that the Israelites are able to cross on dry land. The priests go halfway out into the Jordan River carrying the Ark of the Covenant, and they stand there while all of Israel goes across on the dry land into the promised land. Now God gave Joshua further instructions to choose 12 men to go out right in front of where the priests were standing and to gather a large stone that would represent each of the 12 tribes of Israel. So these 12 representatives went out and took a stone from what would have been the bottom middle of the floor of the Jordan River. They took these stones, carried them on their shoulders back over into the promised land. After all of the Israelites had crossed on the dry land and the priests had made their way the rest of the way across the Jordan River, then the Jordan River returned to its flood stage that it had been at before the priests entered the river. So now they have these 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan River over in the promised land. Let me pick up the story here. It's in Joshua chapter 4, verse 20. Just let me read to you. And Joshua set up at Gilgal the 12 stones they had taken out of the Jordan. He said to the Israelites, "In the future, when your descendants ask their parents, 'What do these stones mean?' tell them, 'Israel crossed the Jordan on dry ground. For the Lord your God dried up the Jordan before you until you had crossed over. The Lord your God did to the Jordan what he had done to the Red Sea when he dried it up before us until we had crossed over. He did this so that all the peoples of the earth might know that the hand of the Lord is powerful, and so that you might always fear the Lord your God.'" God had these men bring these stones over, and he had Joshua set them up very intentionally so that the descendants, the children in the generations to come, would look at those stones and say, "What's this, Dad? Mom, why are these stones here?" And they would then be prompted to retell the story of what God had done. Now, it must have been like the day after I read this that Pastor John asked me to print out another one of those Turkey Mission Dinner devotionals to give to someone. So I printed that off, and as I was flipping through it and reminding myself of, what was in it, I thought, this is our 12 stones. This is a reminder to us and can be a reminder to our descendants in the generations to come of what God has done through our church in the past 10 years of the Turkey Mission Dinner. What a great memorial opportunity to sit down with your kids and remind yourselves and maybe tell them for the very first time about what our church has been able to do. And actually, wouldn't it be awesome if all of us took that even a step further and maybe got some little stones or wrote down in a journal on some paper things that God has done in our lives, ways that God has been faithful to us throughout the years, so that someday our kids can find that notebook or find those little rocks and say, "Mom, what is this? What is this?" And that will just be a great prompting opportunity for us to sit down with our children and recount to them the ways that God has been faithful. Have a great day.